Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptmancer, where we feature content on play-to-earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. And in today's video, I wanted to provide an update around bots, around win trading, and the new rank reward system. So today is going to be a smorgasbord of information, and yeah, it might be controversial once again, but I will provide a link to the original video around bots and win trading for your reference in case you haven't seen that. But we have some interesting data to look at that we've discovered this morning, and we'll talk about the data, we'll talk about the conclusions, and talk about what it might mean for you and I as players in the game, the broader Splinterlands economy, and just the game in general. So first I want to give a shout out to one of our community members and stream viewers, and that's Elephantium. And Elephantium had let me know about some bots that he was seeing in silver once again, and one of those bots here is BD Jenny here. And I'm going to provide a link to the 3 accounts that we're going to talk about today, so you can look up all this information on your own should you wish to, in case you doubt that any of this is true. But here is the battle log for BD Jenny, the user, and you can see here's a win trade, a win trade, a win trade, win trade, win trade, win trade, win trade, another win trade. So basically pretty much all of these battles here, I would say it looks like about 80 to 90% of the battles in the last 20 battles are all win trades. And these are happening, this was 13 minutes ago, and the last battle was, I guess, 4 hours ago. So this is all recent. And so what we can see here is that win trading is still happening with the bots, but just park that thought for a moment, because we'll talk a little bit about what that might mean moving forward. But if we go into peak monsters and take aside the win trading, let's see what BD Jenny is doing. Now this is the cards on this account for BD Jenny, and in the past when we looked at the bot accounts, what we saw is they just rented 15,000 collection power to climb into silver 3 with starter and ghost cards, and then just would win trade basically back and forth and earn reward cards. Now we can see the behavior has changed. The bots have adapted, and if we look at BD Jenny's cards here, these are all rented cards, and you can look at the cards and guess what? They're all life. They equal 16,000 collection power, so enough to get them into silver 3. And they're for the most part meta cards. You've got High Priest Darius, you've got Lone Boatman, you've got Prismologist, Sacred Unicorn, Uriel. So it looks like there's been some thought to the madness here. You got Silver Shield Assassin. If we sort based on summoners, well, you see that they don't have rented any summoners necessarily. So maybe it's not super fine-tuned as the equation goes. Maybe they just said, hey, rent me a bunch of life stuff for 15K and let's spam it. And even if I don't have a Splinter, hey, it's okay. Meaning a Splinter Summoner. So yeah, it looks like they're doing just fine though. They've rented the life cards. We can actually go into the battle results here. So if we look at one of the battles here that BD Jenny has won, let's look at this one versus Oscuros. We can see they're using a level 1 Mother Kala. And it's a win trade here. We'll just skip to the results. We can see that they received 303 reward shares, and their rating is 1650 at the moment. So 1650 from a league perspective is in the silver range. It's actually in silver 1, but it looks like they only have the power to get the silver 3. So they're earning silver 1 base rating rewards. And if we look here, well, let's just park that for a moment and let's look at the next account. So if I look here, I go back to BD Jenny. Let's look at this last person they played 43 minutes ago, Than34. BD Jenny win traded to Than34. So it's likely that Than34 is a bot as well. So let's take a look at Than34. Than34 here, ooh, look, we can see a bunch of win trading here as well. Win trade, win trade, win trade, win trade. Let's see if we can find any battle that's not a win trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 battles were not win traded and 11 battles were win traded. Let's again take a look at what they're earning on a win from a win trade perspective. We'll just skip to the results. So they got 84 reward shares here, and their rating is 1520. Now, if we look at the cards that Than34 has, they have 15,185 collection power, and it looks like they've just rented, again, the life splinter here, and it's a mix of stuff. It's all life, nothing but life here. They don't have any summoners again, so it looks like they're using starter cards for summoners and just using the, whatever cards that they can get for cheap for life here. Let's go back to BD Jenny here. The next person on their list with a win trade is Berlin Sky. Let's take a look at Berlin Sky here. Berlin Sky. Okay, their last battles. Let's see how many battles are not win trades, because everything here looks like win trades so far. So of their last 20 battles, only 1 out of 20. So 19 were win trades, and 1 was a regular battle. So let's see what Berlin Sky here is getting on a win, and let's see what their rating is. Let's see, this one looks like, actually Berlin Sky's gonna win this. It was actually against BD Jenny. They won 578 reward shares, and they're at a 1551 rating. So if we look at the cards on Berlin Sky's account, they have 15,435 collection power, and it's all fire. It's all fire cards. No duplicates. They do have a Tarsa rented, and they have a neutral card as well, and a gold Uraeus, a gold Horny Toad. So it looks like there's been some concerted effort to get gold cards in here into the mix. And yeah, so that's what we have. We have win trading going on still, we have bots, and we have them renting dedicated splinters and cards from those splinters. But now let's see under the hood why they're doing this and what are they doing. So here are the Explorer activities for the first account that we're looking at, BD Jenny. And what do you know? We have a transfer of cards 7 days ago from BD Jenny to Dwan Fat One, which we know this is a known bot sale account that we've talked about in previous videos. So it doesn't look like there's been any transfers since the new ranked reward system has come out. In fact, the first time this account has done anything was a day ago when it rented 29 cards for 80.479 DEC. So it looks like this bot just got put back into action a day ago, and we'll be transferring cards moving forward, reward cards, to Dwang Fat One. Now I am curious just to see how much Dwang Fat One has farmed with the bots so far. Let's take a look, drill down into their account. Now the Dwang Fat One sale account here has $2,103 in list prices with the cards, with 208,000 CP burn value. if we just sort on Chaos Legion reward cards, what do we see? Well, we see a ton of cards for sale. In fact, pretty much if you look at the right-hand column, all of these cards are for sale. And let's see how much this bot farmer has farmed since the new rank reward cards have come out. We can see a gold Bloodmaker. We can see, wow, a lot of Countess and Ashes, some gold infiltrators, a bunch of Dampier infiltrators here. Wow, lots and lots. We're still scrolling. Yeah, so you can see here we've got some Jin Bilchkas, Jin Chwalas, some gold foil Jin O'Shaughnesses, Jin Renovas. Yeah, I'm just going to scroll here. You can see for yourself the quantity of cards that they've already farmed for Everhunger Skulls, etc. And yeah, so this is the bot farms in action. So if you're curious, look at all those Jared Scars. So yeah, they've been doing pretty well. Not sure how many days worth of cards this is farming here, but it's definitely $2,300 worth according to Peak Monsters. Some revealers there, some vampire bats here. So yeah, the bots are back in business. They're doing what they do. So just a tip, yeah, don't necessarily buy any reward cards right now because they're probably going to continue to go down in value as the bots come online and farm these in mass, and you're probably going to get some pretty decent prices there. So yeah, that's a lot of Venari Heatsmiths. We're still scrolling here. So I'm not going to bore you with scrolling through all those cards. Let's go on to the next account here. This is Than34, and Than34 was transferring cards to On.in 146 7 days ago. And you can see that just 21 hours ago, they rented 26 cards for 71.631 DEC. So it looks like this bot just came online with a new algorithm in the last day and is farming the new reward cards. Let's take a look at On.in here and see what this account has. So this particular account, let's filter on Chaos Legion reward cards specifically, has $5,034 in Chaos Legion reward cards. And it looks like they have 45,941 cards. 45,000 cards is a lot here for Chaos Legion reward cards. Let's just scroll through it a little bit. You can see the Bloodmakers at the top. I'm just going to scroll through it so you can see the magnitude. Look at all these Bloodmakers, pages upon pages. So yeah, this bot farm is doing quite well. Again, I'll provide you the link if you're curious to see what's going on here in the magnitude. Again, it's just for informational purposes, but this is a lot of reward cards. I'm still on the Bloodmaker, still scrolling through the Bloodmaker here. Again, there's 45,000, over 45,000 Chaos Legion reward cards on this account. So we're still scrolling through the Bloodmaker. Well, you get the point. There's hundreds upon hundreds of Bloodmakers already farmed on this account, and it's only been a couple days. So yeah, so $5,000 worth of cards there on that account. And then the last account here was Berlin Sky that we looked at. Again, this was last transferred cards 7 days ago, again to our buddy Duong Fat 1, and just 21 hours ago they rented 31 cards for 66.167 DEC. So there you have it, kind of the update. The bots are back in action. We should start to see rental prices now tick up. And let me give you my summary on kind of what I believe will happen moving forward and how this affects Splinterlands players like you and I, as well as the game in general. So first off, what has changed between the bots with the new rank reward system and the old rank reward system? Well, remember the old rank reward system, what the bots did is they just rented 15,000 collection power to get into Silver 3, win traded all the way up there, and didn't really care where the collection power came from. It was just a mishmash of, whatever the cheapest CP was. Now it's changed, in that they're targeting splinters. It's unclear if the algorithm is targeting specific cards. It looks like they are, because they've got gold foil cards in here that are targeted here, and they're not duplicating on cards necessarily. So it looks like there's a method to the madness. So what's changed is they're targeting specific cards and specific splinters, but they're still renting 15,000 collection power per bot farming account. But what's definitely changed is that the number of reward chests that they're getting is increased. So they're probably going to get more rewards, more DEC, more reward cards. But they're still paying into the system, right? And that's the whole point of Matt's changes here, is that they needed to rent to earn cards, which what they were doing before. Again, they were renting collection power, but they were, kind of doing that on an alternate basis. They probably burn their ECR down, stop renting, and then re-rent again. And then what happened is before, at the end of season, to claim the end of season reward chest, all the bots had to re-rent their 15,000 collection power during a single day, which means at the end of the season, remember, the last 24 to 48 hours of a season, all the rental prices shot up because all the bots had to rent to claim their rewards. Well, now with the new rank reward system, there's not a end of season reward claim. Basically, the chests that you earn are the chests that you earn, so you don't need to have a specific collection power at the end of season. However, if the bots want to continue to earn daily using the daily focus, they need to rent every single day. So the takeaway here is that instead of having spikes in the rental price, you're going to have the bots renting 15,000 collection power by splinter every single day, and that's going to give stability to the rental market. So in essence, what we can probably expect to see is that the end of season spikes that we had, once all the bots come back online, will be the status quo for the rental market on a daily basis. So the takeaway here is we can expect card rental prices to go up significantly, probably into that maybe 50 to 40 CP per DEC on a daily basis. Now, what that does, well, let me take a step back. The reason why they're going to do that is because, well, they can farm these reward cards at an increased rate. And they're going to do that because it's going to be profitable for them to do so, more than likely. So, because they're going to get those end of season rewards and rack those up on a daily basis and max out at 150 chests, most likely. So, the rental prices in the market are going to go up, probably to that 40 to 50 CP for DEC. Individual cards by Splinter will be the focus for the rentals. We'll see how that affects specific card values. I think certainly meta cards will start to be scarce, and those cards will skyrocket in price and probably only be rented by those that really are competing maybe at the gold or higher level, where the chest earnings may make sense to rent something that's that expensive, like a llama or a Yodin or something like that. We'll see. But in addition to the rent prices increasing, well, the card prices are going to increase because, as I mentioned in my last video, with the new rank reward system, the inflation on DEC and cards has gone up, which means there's more cards being printed and farmed, and there's more DEC being given out and received. So the rental prices will go up accordingly, the card sale prices will go up accordingly because, again, as the rent prices go up, the ROAs on those cards go up. So the cards can't remain cheap necessarily because the cards are being rented out for a higher cost, so they pay themselves off faster. So naturally, their sale price will also climb. So what's actually happened here is we have a stimulus package for Splinterlands. So we've been talking about the summer of Splinterlands. Well, right now we have the stimulus of Splinterlands, similar to what we talked about before with COVID stimulus, in that you inject a bunch of new money into the system and it floats pretty much the market and the income of anyone participating. So it's kind of a cycle here that's going to see an increase in revenue and an increase in pretty much everything in the market with the increased print rates and increased activity here. So it's an interesting hypothetical conversation of how long that can continue. And, if the bots are just going to continue to yield more bots and more bots and more bots, because what is a bot going to do? So the guy with $5,000 worth of cards, when he sells those cards eventually to people on the market, what does he do with that $5,000? Does he pull it out necessarily? Because he's going to have profit on that $5,000, right? So let's say it's a 50% margin. Let's say 2,500 of that's going into rentals, which I doubt, but let's just say it is. Then the other 2,500, well, what could he do? He could buy cards for his personal collection. They could pull the money out of the ecosystem and pocket it, or he or she could just buy more bots and spin up more bots. So the question with a stimulus package or an inflation system with all these bots is, what is the what is the end game here? Because they'll just print more cards, they'll give away more cards, more bots will come in, the bot owners will continue to buy more bots, farm more bots, and it's really an interesting situation. At what point do the bots and the bot owners become, again, a centralized point of failure for the game? Because like you or I, we can take advantage of this same system right now. We can create an alt account, we can rent cards, and we can farm the cards. But for me to do that, as I've shown in my recent video, it takes me 2 hours, let's say, to get those chests, 20 to 50 daily chests. And I'm only one person. I need to sleep, I need to work, I need to do other stuff. So, I can maybe farm, 5 cards a day or something, whatever. I don't know, 5 to 10 reward cards a day. Bot farms can farm an indefinite number of cards basically around the clock, and that's the advantage that they have. So while yes, you or I could take advantage of it, we're limited in the fact that we don't scale. We can't multitask and do like 10 battles or 100 battles at the same time. We have to do one at a time, and we're limited in what we can do. So the question is, if we look at the bigger picture and kind of see the forest through the trees, is that at some point the bot farms, like if I'm a bot farm owner and I have 10,000 bots today, well, I could have 100,000 bots maybe 2 months from now. So as one player, I may have in the game, instead of $5,000 in Chaos Legion reward cards and assets, I might have 50,000, right? So again, the game becomes more centralized. And what happens when those bot farmers decide to shut down or simply extract out of the ecosystem and not put back in? That's where the challenge here is the long game. Yes, I know people that are pro bots, whatever, will say, hey, it's not a problem. Bots will do what they're going to do, and they're part of the ecosystem. Yes, I understand that. They're not going away at this point. There's no indication that that's the case. But again, for all the decentralist maxis out there from a crypto perspective, what you have is an ecosystem that is centralized. You're going to have a few bot owners, let's say 100 bot owners with 200 to 300,000 accounts in the game holding a ton of assets, and the actual players in the game will become the minority. So now you have the potential for security issues. So if Noda from the town hall the other day is staying awake at night, what might keep him up at night is the fact that bot owners could do essentially denial of service attacks in the game in the future if they don't get their way. I haven't really thought about it too much, but again, centralization of a specific user type or user group being controlled by a few individuals that control a massive stake in the game, or computing power or battle power in the game, or assets in the game, is problematic, I think, for the long-term future of the game. What is the answer? Again, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, talking about what I'm seeing, but I will leave you with one last thought. And the last thought is that win trading is not bad in this case. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that the bots are so plentiful that they're seeing that they're playing each other, their own bots in their own bot network, and they're saying, hey, you know, you're a bot, I'm a bot, we're the same bot. One of us has to lose. So we might as well have the lower rated person lose so that the other person continues to climb up in rating and gets more reward shares because their rating's higher. So, you know, could they create random teams and throw them all together and fight each other and kind of do a coin flip on who wins? Yeah, sure, but it's not optimized for them. It doesn't make sense. They're just going to say, hey, let's just win trade and get on with the rest of our botting. So from that perspective, is botting a problem? I mean, when there's that many bots and they're facing each other, I mean, what are they supposed to do? It really goes back to the bigger problem is that there's more bots than human players. And when they go up against each other, there's nothing they can do. One of them has to win and one of them has to lose. So it's a bigger problem, right? But it's not something that can be solved because it's a problem, again, of centralization, meaning that a single bot farm, again, you know, has more players than exist for humans. So they're just going to keep banging up against each other and, you know, working the system, getting reward shares, climbing higher than they probably should. And that's just the reality. So is win trading a problem at this point? No, I mean, not really. I mean, what are you going to do? Again, if in the last 20 battles, 19 of those battles were against other bots in the same bot farm, well, I guess nothing we can do unless, you know, you start banning accounts, and you can't ban accounts. So here we go again. So there you go. Anyways, I just wanted to provide an update, give you an idea of what the bots are doing, how they've changed their strategy, the timing of that, meaning the last 24 hours for this particular bot farm, and what we can expect to see in the coming days as this all gets turned online. And yeah, get prepared, watch the rental market get a little saucy, and yeah, I mean, let me know in the comments below. I don't have all the answers. I'm giving you this analysis in real time as I'm discovering it and just my thoughts on the issue. Again, I think there are questions longer term around bots and the centralization of them, and again, the number of real players in the game and how that, you know, might matter in the future. But at the moment, bot farmers are doing well. If you're a bot farmer, you're very happy. You're probably farming more reward cards than ever before. And as long as you have humans like myself or the viewers of this video to buy the cards, all is good. However, you can't sell cards to other bots necessarily. I guess you could sell cards to other bot farms, but they're not buyers. Again, none of these bots are buying cards. They're just renting cards and they're selling them to humans. So the question is who's the sucker, the bots or the humans? I'll leave it with that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm sure this will be a little controversial, but hey, you know, what's a week in Splinterlands without some form of controversy? So until next time, keep stacking those stats.
And that's entertainment.